That pecan tree lined lane through that old squeaky gate here at Down on the Farm Radio Headquarters. I'm your host, Larry Marble. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Down on the Farm, the day after Christmas, the 26th day of December, 2023. I hope all of you had a good Christmas day, and I hope you have a good Christmas holiday and a good New Year. Now, Claire and I did not get a chance to travel this year, and I know some of you did not, so I thought a fun deal to do today, since there are no livestock auctions going on for basically these next 2 weeks anyway, that I would give y'all a taste of another portion of the country. The ability to travel with you, if you will, even in your own mind. And as you know, Down on the Farm Radio has affiliate stations in 4 states. So today, we're going to let you hear from some of the livestock market operators in Oklahoma and Arkansas. We call that portion of Down on the Farm country the Arklahoma Livestock Market News Service. So you folks stay tuned for those reports. But first up, neighbor, we're going to head toward the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. Talk to our friend Dr. Bob Judd. He's the resident veterinarian for the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network, and his daily program is called the Texas Vet Report. Dr. Bob, what's our topic today?
Dr. Dana Zook with Northwest Oklahoma Livestock Extension indicates at drovers.com that most cattle will need extra nutrition in cold weather. Hello everyone, I'm veterinarian Dr. Bob Judd with Texas Vet News on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. And it is not surprising that cattle need supplements during the winter weather. The question is how much supplementation is required. There are many factors that impact the ability of cattle to tolerate cold and inclement weather, but hair coat and the amount of moisture present in the form of rain, sleet, or snow are the most important, and this plays into the amount of supplementation needed. Also, cattle under a body score of 5 on a scale of 1 to 9, with 1 being emaciated and 9 being obese, have less cold tolerance. So all cattle need extra feed in the winter, but the amount depends on their body condition going into the winter and the degree of rain and freezing temperatures. Dr. Zook recommends consulting the Maisonnet Cattle Comfort Advisor to determine the amount of supplementation needed, and Maisonnet is spelled M-E-S-O-N-E-T. According to the Maisonnet Cattle Advisor, a cow's energy requirement increases 1% for each degree below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And if the animal is wet, the energy requirement would double from 1% to 2%. One method of measuring energy in a ration would be to look at the TDN, or total digestible nutrients, in a ration. The formula is relatively easy, as you just take the number of degrees the temperature is below 32 degrees and feed a cow with a dry hair coat that percent of added energy and double the amount if the cattle are wet. For example, if the temperature is 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 minus 20 is 12. So that is 12% extra energy needed in a dry animal and 24% in a wet animal. So you can figure out how much energy needs to be supplemented depending on the environmental temperature. So consult the Maisonnet Cattle Comfort Advisor. I'm veterinarian Dr. Bob Judd. This is the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to find an insurance agent who's a true neighbor. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
All right, neighbor, welcome back to the kitchen table. Hopsing's going to feed us while we travel, as I promised, up to Stigler, Oklahoma. Now, that's back south and west from where I live in Greenwood, Arkansas, but my good friend Trent Hokett is the proprietor. He sells every Wednesday. Trent, how was this last Wednesday sale?
Larry, we had a real good sale. At the end of the year, we feed everybody, and we usually have a little special cow sale. Had a huge turnout, some excellent cattle go through the ring, so I couldn't ask for a better sale day.
Walk the pens with us if you can.
We had 520 head go through the ring. Most of those were stock cows and replacement heifers. We had kind of a light run on yearlings. Doesn't surprise me this time of the year. But some of the highlights we had on the yearling deal, we had a set of steers weighed 350, bring 327.50. We had a set of heifers that weighed 555, bring 240. Now, on our little special sale, we had a set of Charolais replacement heifers. They weighed 808, brought 207.50. Then the high selling pair on our replacement sale was 2,900. The high selling bred cow was 1,900. Then we sold those set of bred tiger stripe heifers, and those heifers averaged anywhere from 2,500 to 2,900. Pretty good sell on that end. Packer wise, we was a little bit light on our packer cows, but looks like the high selling packer bull was $1.25 and the high selling packer cow was $1.15. So it was just an excellent sale, Larry.
Now, I know that y'all will be back after the holiday. When's your first sale?
It will be on the 10th. We'll have 2 weeks off and we'll fire back up on January the 10th.
Well, I know you want to wish your clientele happy holidays and tell them thank you for business.
We appreciate every one of them that has supported us over for the last 2 years. Time flies. I can't believe we've owned this for 2 years, but we do truly appreciate each and every one of them that's helped us out through these years.
And I know your community appreciates you also. Tell them how to get a hold of you, Trent.
You can call me on my cell phone at 918-470-9760 or just call the barn and it'll go directly to my phone.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to get insurance for Texans by Texans. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Neighbor, before we check out another Oklahoma yard, we're going to head to Waco and talk to the Texas Wildlife Radio Show reporter, farm girl from Georgetown, Texas. Her name is Jessica Dommel. Jessica, what is the topic for this week?
Spotted sea trout meetings. I'm Jessica Dommel with the Texas Wildlife Radio Show on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department is now accepting public comment on a proposal to change spotted sea trout regulations off the Texas coast. The proposal, if approved by the Parks and Wildlife Commission, would reduce the spotted sea trout bag limit to 3 fish between 15 and 20 inches, with 1 fish over 25 inches allowed daily. TPWD researched and proposed the rule after public scoping and survey efforts. Through those surveys, TPWD staff say they learned that many anglers wanted to see more restricted measures to improve the fishery. Spotted sea trout were heavily impacted by Winter Storm Uri in February of 2021. After the deaths of thousands of the sea trout, TPWD enacted emergency rules to allow more fish to remain in the water during the spawning period. Those emergency rules have since expired, returning the state to pre-2021 regulations. TPWD will host several public hearings on the proposal January 9th, 10th, and 11th. The first hearing will be January 9th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. At the same time on the 9th, the hearing will be held at the Greater Chamber of Harlingen in Harlingen. January 9th, there will also be a meeting at the Saltwater Pavilion at Rockport Beach Park in Rockport. On January 10th, there will be a meeting from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Bob Bowers Civic Center in Port Arthur. January 11th, the meeting will be 6 to 8 p.m. at the Nestler Civic Center in Texas City. There will also be a Zoom webinar on the proposal from 6 to 8 p.m. on January 10th. The public can provide comments at one of the in-person hearings, online, or via phone or email. Details on how to submit those comments are available on the TPWD website. For the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network, I'm Jessica Dommel.
Jessica always does a great job, always has a great topic. Neighbor, we're continuing with the holiday edition of Down on the Farm. While the cattle go to Beller, it's time to head down and talk to Joshua Garcia, the relatively new owner of Karn City Auction, LLC. I believe they've had their year anniversary sale already. I'm pretty sure of that. Joshua, how was the last sale you had before the holiday?
Real good, Mr. Larry. Market was strong on good demand of quality cattle. Sheep and goat market seemed to be up a little bit, so a good way to end the year.
Walk the pins with me, Joshua.
Ended up with 541 head of cattle, 235 sheep and goats, with 140 sellers and 53 buyers. Number one cows 87 to 99. Number two cows 30 to 86. Bulls 88 to $1.17. Stocker cows, bred cows 750 to 1275. pairs, had some real nice pairs that bring from $1,400 up to $1,775. On the steer and heifer, anything steers 2 to 3 weights $265 to $308, 3 to 4s $250 to $3, 4 to 5s $240 to $3, 5 to 6s $225 to $284, 6 to 7s $2 to $225, 700 plus pound steers $175 to $2. On the heifer end of things, 2 to 3 weights $233 to $3, 3 to 4s $228 to $290. 4 to 5s $219 to $270, 5 to 6s $206 to $240, 6 to 7s $185 to $209, 700 plus pound heifers $165 to $190.
Good. When's your first sale after the holiday?
We will be back January the 6th, receiving cattle all the way starting about the 2nd and 3rd. We'll start taking in cattle and stuff like that. So just want to remind everybody that we will have our first sale on the 6th, and we'll receive cattle all that week.
Well, Merry Christmas to you and your wife. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
You can reach me on my mobile at 361-649-4578 or the cell barn phone 830-780-3382. And Shelby and myself want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And always remember, we work for you.
Y'all be careful traveling. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. I'm Larry Marble from Down on the Farm Radio, and I'm with Stephen from D&D Farm and Ranch on I-10 in Seguin. That's ddtexasoutfitters.com. Stephen, you know, I'm an old sheep and goat man, was raised that way, and I love working sheep and goats with good equipment, and I bet you D&D can help me out, can't you?
Yes, sir. Larry, we are now carrying sheep and goat panels and working equipment from Rivera Panels. They're a family-owned company out in the little town of Lomita. They make quality equipment from working chutes to pens, all sorts of feeders that you can choose from as well.
Real great options for sheep and goat people. I know we've got them in Texas. I know we've got them in Guadalupe County. Stephen, tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Larry, you can get a hold of me at 830-379-7340, extension 161. More than happy to answer any questions anyone may have.
We appreciate you. That's Stephen from D&D talking about their sheep and goat equipment, ddtexasoutfitters.com. Neighbor, now it's time to travel up to Stillwell, Oklahoma. Talk to my friend Alan Starr. He's a colonel, lieutenant colonel in the Air National Guard. Grew up there in Stillwell, owned Stillwell Livestock Auction. Alan, how was this week's sale?
The sale was good. The numbers were light. A lot of people not sure whether to sell right before the holidays or not. My recommendation was wait till after the 1st. But the sale this week, prices were good. 5-10 higher, well across the board. A lot of cattle, 250 to 320, 330. Weighing 450 to 500 pounds. If these futures keep on the upward trend, kind of like they're doing, we come back after the 1st. I think the market's going to be really good and really strong for a while and on an upward trend.
Was the packer looking for some of those kill cows and bulls that would yield good?
They were. They're trying to fill their pens and all and kind of keep all their plants going throughout the holidays so they can keep everybody working. We didn't have a lot of them, but what we did have, they were sure wanting them. I think this market kind of all across the board is going to continue to be strong. Positive to look forward to.
Yes, we do. Some of those folks that you recommended to keep the cattle and sell them afterwards, are you aware of anything coming this next week, and when will those first sales be?
Well, with no sale this next week, January the 3rd is our first sale back. Probably be the first sale kind of around here at least on that Wednesday. So we got some deals lined up. The first sale makes some people nervous as well. Nobody's not sure what the market's going to be. So, but we do have some lined up for you that first week or second week. We'll just kind of see what the futures look like and all that as we get closer.
Well, tell everybody how to get a hold of you, Alan Starr, Stillwell Livestock Auction.
All right. My phone number is area code 918-696-1869. Just call me anytime.
Neighbor, there's another yard that's really helped me get this Arkansas and Oklahoma network started, and I know you folks from South Texas like to hear what's going on in other portions of the nation, and I figured that the holiday week was a good time to do that. Neighbor, did you know, combined with the truss department, insulation department, and millworks department, just 3 of the departments there at MG Building Materials, they've got the ability to deliver an entire building package from a single supplier. They are truly your one-stop shop. They have 5 locations around South and Central Texas. Let's count them down right quick. Pleasanton, Kerrville, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, and Uvalde. MG Building Materials, your one-stop shop. MGBuildingMaterials.com. And speaking of doing it some more, we'll do it again at 9:45, 12:45, and 3:45. We'll be talking to some of the Arkansas yards during that time, so you folks can travel up that direction if you never have. Now let's do those grains, courtesy of John Tuggle. Milo, 1044. Yellow corn to Corpus, 514 3/4. Houston wheat, 655. Plasto beans, 1218. Texas cotton, 7608 on 7,311 bales. That's it. That's all. Neighbor, I'm gone.